What's up? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this beautifully honest reaction.
Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind, when we rewind, feels so nice.
Child, Shannon Sharpe keeps putting his foot in his mouth, and this time Chad Ochocinco Johnson is joining him in the litigation because, listen, after the news broke about him being fired by ESPN earlier this week, shortly after settling that $50 million sexual assault lawsuit filed by his so-called ex-girlfriend back in April, now he's got more legal troubles. So he is now facing a $20 million defamation lawsuit from a woman named Jimalita Tillman. Tillman claims Sharpe and his Nightcap podcast co-host Chad Johnson falsely stated she was married and that her husband was divorcing her due to a viral flirty moment with Usher at a concert in April. I participated in a fan engagement moment at a Usher Raymond concert where I interacted with the artist as a selected audience member. Court records read, according to the Daily Mail. Following this event, the defendants made and disseminated false and defamatory statements suggesting that I was married and that my husband was filing for divorce due to my participation in this audience experience. I am not married, nor am I currently going through a divorce. Tillman said the joking accusations made by Sharpe and Johnson have caused significant harm to my character and reputation. So it's bad enough he had to settle that lawsuit and got fired by ESPN anyway, but now he has to fight a defamation suit as well. And it's also rumored that he might be getting replaced on ESPN by Ocho. Like, wouldn't that cap it all? Like, literally cap it. So it's being rumored that he's being considered as a potential successor to retain Sharpe's audience on Stephen A. Smith's First Take. A source with knowledge of the ESPN-Sharpe relationship and a former ESPN executive suggests to Front Office Sports that hiring Johnson could be a strategic move to maintain Sharpe's viewership as the NFL season approaches. Johnson, who recently appeared on First Take to promote Madden 26, expressed enthusiasm for a more permanent role on the show. He said, "I can get used to this for the next 6 months." I wonder how Shannon feels about that. Her steamy interaction with Usher caused a stir on social media at the time, with fans picking up on the intensity between the two of them at the concert. She continued in the lawsuit and said, "I was not married at the time of the fan participation moment during the Usher concert, and the defendants' false narratives were shared widely across their platforms, reaching millions of followers. Viral spread and refutation efforts despite my clear and public reputation of the false narrative." She's a single mother and global director for the Harold Washington Cultural Center. And she also claims that she went on national media shows to refute the allegations made by Sharpe and Johnson. The defendants continue to post the defamatory content across their social media platforms. I made numerous efforts to contact the defendants to request the removal of this false narrative, but these requests were disregarded. She said the false statements have caused significant harm to her character and reputation, and she is reportedly seeking $20 million in damages. And so, listen, I'm all for her getting what is due to her. He was previously, meaning Shannon, sued for defamation by Brett Favre over comments he made about him in connection to a welfare misspending case during an episode of Fox Sports Undisputed in 2022, but that lawsuit was dismissed by the judge. And I actually agreed with that one because Brett Favre is a freaking crook. But anyway, when it comes to this situation, some people were saying, but did she receive $20 million in damages? That doesn't matter. Did Gabby receive $50 million or 25 or 20 or even 10 million in damages for what she experienced? I don't think so. But it is what they got. And I believe she deserves to get every dime she's going for too, because why would they say things like that about her? Like, seriously. And she said she made attempts and efforts to reach out to them, to have them to remove them, and they ignored her. So I guess they wanted to pay. I guess they wanted this situation. So sis is like, look, you retire, Gabrielle. I want to retire too. I'm tired. And I'm all for it. So get your money. Now, look, the clip was steamy and all of the things. And I watched it and I'm like, oh, okay. But honestly, even if she was married, that doesn't mean that her husband was going to file for divorce and, you know, that she's going through a rocky relationship. It was none of their business, you know? So it was a lie. You can't sue someone for a lie, but you can sue them for defamation of character. And yeah, she has a public role. She has her reputation. She has her character. And that's something that they tried to disparage. And so she gave them the attempts to make it right, and they didn't. So they should pay. So I want to know what you guys think about this, because this week has definitely been a terrible week for Shannon Sharpe. And I'm not sitting here to say that I hope things get better for him, because I'm not going to lie. But anyway, guys, I want to know what you guys think about this.
Yeah. You gave them an opportunity to even be able to retract it, just to apologize. You sent out emails, letters, you've spoken with people, the producers over there, everything, and still they chose not to take it down.
Absolutely. So when it all began, this is back in April, many people are just hearing about it now, and that shows I'm not into trying to get a media hit about this. It got picked up. I'm not even sure how. I'm not really talking about the nuts and bolts of the case, but this case is about Shay Shay Media. It's about Pink Deer, the production company that was not fact checking it, or if they did not care enough. I sent emails, I sent letters. Clearly they opened it, they responded because they made it private. They did not take it down, and it didn't take it down immediately. And even as of July 31st, things were still on ways to find it on their podcast, on Apple and their other mediums in which they do it. And this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Yeah. And right now, as it stands, there's no oversight.
Okay, so you heard what she had to say about all of this, and listen, you can't take this away from her. She is, it sounds like a sort of public figure to those that know her. And, you know, because of her position in her career, she's not just some stay-at-home mom who is doing the internet. And I don't even want to say doing the internet like it's like it's a thing, but you know what I mean. She actually has a position that matters, and her reputation and integrity is something that matters as well. So she says she gave his team the opportunity to make it right, and they didn't listen. They didn't really care. So she's not, so she says, trying to chase clout or even the money, like a lot of people have been trying to say. It's about accountability. She felt misrepresented, dragged, and disrespected, and she did make the attempts to try to resolve things privately, but she was ignored. So that alone is disrespect, and so she took legal action. And listen, in the civil justice system, the justice comes in the form of money. You know, it's not just an apology or, you know, okay, we're just going to go ahead and retract. That's the form of the civil justice system, period. So yeah, there's some people that say that she's trying to seek attention, and oh, she saw, you know, another chick getting the bag, so she's trying to get one too. But she says this lawsuit actually has been filed since April, and that definitely can be the truth. All you have to do is go and look at the court papers, the court filings, to see when it was filed. Not everything that is filed is released immediately, because let's be clear, the lawsuit that was filed against him by the OnlyFans chick who he retired, she filed that lawsuit after another one that he currently still has in litigation with his ex-girlfriend of many years for sexual assault. So no one was really talking about that lawsuit. It was known, but not to the magnitude that the situation with the chick that he retired from OnlyFans was made public, because a lot of it was due to his stupidity coming out here in his Easter speech jacket talking about what was going on and calling this a shakedown. And Tony Busby, he is a lawyer that goes after successful black men, and he was going to be filing a defamation lawsuit against him and the OnlyFans model that he retired, and that never happened. He even put her information out there because she filed the lawsuit as a Jane Doe, and he doxed her. Well, sort of doxed her. He didn't give her address, but he gave her name. And for some people, that's enough to try to find her location. And that was just straight up wrong. So, do I believe he was wrong in this situation? Absolutely. Just give her money. But she says that her legal team and his are in talks. So, I believe it's going to settle. I don't believe that it's going to get dragged out through court. And hopefully, it'll get settled sooner than later. And she gets what she deserves. So to sum it up, she's basically letting us know that this is not about celebrity. It's about, yes, defamation, which is what she filed against him and Ocho Cinco and the company, the media company that backs them. Also responsibility and the power dynamics that exist between media personalities, celebrity, and the people that they speak on. So what are your thoughts? Do you feel that she had the right to go public? Do you feel she had the right to file the lawsuit? Do you agree with her? Or do you feel that this is a shakedown, to use Shannon Sharpe's words, or just a money grab? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Thanks for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.